All right. So number 19, we're going to have to simplify, and that requires us again to look at order of operations. And we remembered that word PEMDAS as the clue for telling us what order to do things here. And we notice there is a set of parentheses here. So we do what's inside the parentheses first, namely subtract 1 minus 5. Well, since the 5 is bigger than the 1, we know that this is going to end up being a negative value. So it's the opposite of 5 minus 1, or negative 4. So negative 4 is what's inside those parentheses. And we've got to raise it to the square power. And we have to put those parentheses around it, because if we don't, we think we're just raising the 4 to the 2 power, when really it's that negative 4. That's what's inside there that needs to be raised to the 2 power. And then we're going to divide the result by negative 1. Well, then the next item in our order of operations is exponents. We have to take negative 4 squared. And recall, negative 4 squared means take negative 4 times itself. And negative 4 times itself is a negative times a negative. Negative times a negative ends up being positive. This ends up being positive 16. So now we can replace negative 4 squared with 16 divided by negative 1. Well, something divided by negative 1 is just itself. Or by 1, excuse me, is just itself. But we're dividing by a negative, so our result is going to be negative. The opposite of what we would get if we were dividing by 1. Well, dividing by 1 would leave us with 16 divided by 1, or just 16. So this is just negative 16. So dividing by negative 1 is, does the same work as multiplying by negative 1.